Welcome to the Eclipse instructional video series. In this video, we'll walk through the process of submitting a commercial building permit application in Eclipse. While all construction permit applications follow the same general format, the specific details requested may vary slightly depending on the permit type. If your project involves new construction, an addition, or an alteration to a 1 or 2 family dwelling, please refer to the Apply for a Residential Building Permit video instead. Before starting any permit application, be sure to review the permit requirements on L&I's website at phila.gov/li. To help your commercial building permit application go smoothly, there are a few important things to know before you begin. First, if your project requires a zoning permit, we recommend applying for it before seeking your building permit. This streamlines the process and avoids delays, as the building permit cannot be issued until the zoning permit is approved. Visit phila.gov/li for guidance on when a zoning permit is required. Second, if you are a licensed contractor, make sure your insurance is valid and on file with L&I. If your insurance has expired, please update it as soon as possible by revisiting your license. You can find instructions for uploading valid insurance on the Eclipse help page on the L&I website. Third, confirm whether any pre-approvals are required. Depending on your project, you may need approvals from other city departments before applying. You can find more information on required pre-approvals on the L&I website. Finally, once your permit is approved, you'll need to schedule inspections. Required inspections will be listed on your permit, and a certificate of approval will be issued once all inspections are successfully completed. Let's get started. Log into your Eclipse account by visiting the Eclipse website at eclipse.phila.gov. Enter the email address and password associated with your account. Then select Sign In. If you do not yet have an Eclipse account, you'll need to register an account first. For help creating an account, refer to the Creating an Account in Eclipse video. After signing into your account, you'll be directed to the Getting Started homepage. Scroll down to the Permits and Certificates section and select the Apply for a Permit or Certificate link. The Apply for a Permit page will open showing a list of available permit types. If you need help determining which permit you should choose, please visit the website at phila.gov/li. To apply for a commercial building permit, click the arrow to expand this section and view the available permit options. Read the descriptions carefully and select the work scope that matches your project, then click the Apply button to begin your application. For this video, we'll choose the addition or alteration option for this commercial building permit. The permit application screen will now appear. For help with your permit, click on the Eclipse help link for instructional videos and guides. Or click the link to the Get a Building Permit page on the website for a list of requirements for this application. Be sure to fill out all fields marked with a red asterisk, as these are required. Fields without an asterisk are optional and may not apply to your project. Let's begin completing the application information. The first field is for Master Permits. Master Permits only applies to projects that involve multiple new construction permits of the same permit type. This feature allows you to clone the details from your master permit onto the current application. For more information about master permit approval, visit the website at phila.gov/li. Identify your relationship to this permit. Most applicants are either property owners or professional tradespersons, such as design professionals, contractors, or expediters. If you select professional tradesperson, an additional field will appear. From there, you can select the appropriate professional or trade license from the pull-down list. This list displays all licenses linked to your account that are eligible to serve as an applicant. If there are no professional or tradesperson options listed in the drop-down, then your account is not associated with a trade license. For this application, we will select Owner. The type of work will default to the specific work scope that you applied for. If you applied for the wrong type of work, you can select the correct work type from the pull-down list. In this example, we selected addition and/or alteration. Indicate whether structural work is part of your permit by checking the box. In our example, there will not be any structural work, so we will leave this box unchecked. Choose the use category of the structure from the list provided. This list is not exhaustive, so choose Other if you cannot find an option that matches your project and provide additional detail in the description field below. If applicable, enter the number of dwelling units that are part of this application. In our example, the application does not include any dwelling units, so we will enter a 0. Next, enter a detailed description of the work to be done under this permit. This description is used by the department to quickly understand the scope of work. Next, identify the licensed design professional responsible for the project by using the search feature. Be sure to search for the name of the design professional, not the name of the design firm. If you can't find the correct design professional in the search, select No. A field will appear where you can enter the design professional's information. Please note, you must enter the design professional's name, company address, email, and phone number within this field. For more information on when a design professional is required, click the Help icon. If there is a project associated with this address, use the search feature to find and select the project. Please note, if your project is phased, you should consider establishing a city-managed project to streamline reviews. For more information, click the Help icon or visit the website at phila.gov/li. Next, choose your review type. Remember that review times and fees vary depending on the review type selected. The Comply with Easy, Standard, and Accelerated review options are only applicable for select types of work. Click the Help icon to review the guide on review types. In our example, we will choose Standard Review. Next, search for the property. Use the search field to enter the property address, the building identification number, or the OPA account number. Then select the magnifying glass. Once you select the parcel address and click Select, the address will display in the table below. Please note that addresses must be registered with the Office of Property Assessment to appear here, and they may not always match the mailing address. Use the links provided if you need assistance. Depending on your application type and characteristics of the property, you may see multiple results, such as several buildings, parcels, or condominium units. Select the specific building, parcel, or unit from the list. For work on an existing building, select the entry labeled Building. For all other applications, select the entry labeled Parcel. If the parcel has condominium ownership, be sure to choose the correct unit. Finally, if applicable, use the specific location box to identify the exact location within the structure or on the property where the work will be performed. If your project includes excavation that is more than 5 feet below the adjacent grade, you must check the excavation box. You may either include the excavation work with this application, or if you applied separately, enter the permit number in the field below. Please note, all new construction projects will result in excavation more than 5 feet below adjacent grade. In those cases, the excavation box will be checked by default. Unchecking this box will result in delays to your permit. Our application is for an addition and/or alteration and does not require excavation, so we can leave this box unchecked. For more information on excavation permit requirements, visit the website at phila.gov/li. If your project includes any trade work or excavation work, select the appropriate boxes to include those scopes in your application. Based on what you select here, you will be prompted to provide additional details later in the process. Please note, adding additional scopes of work will automatically generate permit reviews for each scope selected, and separate permits will be issued. In our example, the project includes minor electrical and fire suppression work, so we will select the electrical and fire suppression boxes. Before moving on, click the Save icon at the bottom of the page. Then click the Next button to continue. A unique permit application number will now be automatically generated for you. This number, along with the type of application you selected and the current status of your application, will remain visible at the top of the screen throughout the process. You can exit your application at any time, but be sure to click the Save button at the bottom of the screen so your work is stored as a draft. Your draft will remain available on your Permits and Certificates dashboard for up to 60 days. At the top of the page, you will also now see a navigation banner that helps guide you through your application. Sections that are completed will appear in green. Your current step is shown in dark gray, and light gray indicates sections that are either not started or still incomplete. You can click any section in the banner at any time to jump directly to that part of the application. On the property information page, you'll see a summary of the details for this address. If the property has an active violation related to unpermitted work or work that exceeded the scope of a previous permit, and it involves the same type of work as this application, a warning message will appear beneath the address. The owner information shown is based on the address selected earlier. If the property owner has changed, simply check the box and enter the updated owner details. You will be prompted to upload proof of sale on a later screen. Please note that this update applies only to the current permit. You may need to provide the corrected owner information again in future permit applications until the city's address database is officially updated. If you need help, click the Help icon to view the owner information guide. In our example, we will not make any changes to the owner information. If the property is not owned by an individual person or a publicly traded company, you must check this box and enter the name and mailing address of the person who has more than 49% ownership interest. If no person has more than 49% ownership of the property, you must provide the contact information for at least 2 individuals who hold the largest percentage of interest. This location information section is read-only and shows the possible impacts of your permit based on the address you entered earlier. These impacts may trigger prerequisite approvals or additional permit documents. For additional information about these potential impacts, click the Help icon. When you are done reviewing, click Next. The Project Details page is where you enter additional information about the project. Enter the estimated cost of the general construction work. Enter the number of stories where the proposed work will be performed. Next, select the checkboxes that apply to your project. If the proposed work will extend into the public street, sidewalk, or driveway, check the Street's Impact box. These selections may determine which reviews are required or may prompt you to provide additional information for your application. Select the Help icon for information on project detail requirements and related impacts. In our example, we will check the box for a high-rise building. The requirement for special inspections is determined by the building code. To find out whether this applies to your project, refer to the Help icon or visit the website at phila.gov/li. If you check this box, the Special Inspection section will appear. Clicking the Add Special Inspection button allows you to select the type of inspection and to search for the assigned special inspection agency. Clicking OK will display the selected inspection and agency in the table below. Repeat this process for each type of special inspection required for the permit. If you need to remove a special inspection, select the corresponding box and click the red trash icon. You will also be required to identify the licensed design professional in responsible charge for special inspections. Be sure to search for the name of the design professional and not the name of the design firm. If you can't find the correct design professional in the search, select No. A field will appear where you can enter the design professional's information. Please note you must enter the design professional's name, company, address, email, and phone number in the field provided. In our example, no special inspections are required, so we will leave the box unchecked. Next, enter the square footage in the construction area fields that apply to your project. Providing inaccurate information can result in permit delays, back charges, and even permit invalidation. For more details and to view the construction area guide, click the Help icon. Next, enter the total improvement cost. This amount reflects the full cost of residential improvements or the residential portion of a mixed-use project, which may be used for an OPA tax abatement application. In this example, the project does not include any residential work. However, because this is a mandatory field, we will enter 0 for the improvement cost. Enter the occupancy type for each floor or story included in this application. In this example, we are renovating 1 floor of an office building, so we'll add a single line. From the drop-down menu, select the appropriate occupancy type and construction type. Be sure to enter the square footage, the floor number, and whether the floor is sprinklered or non-sprinklered. If you need to remove a line, check the applicable box and click the red trash icon. If your project includes work that impacts an adjacent property, as described in any of the work listed, select Yes. An owner acknowledgement section will appear. You must provide certain project information to the owner or resident of the adjacent property impacted by your project. Each adjacent owner must sign the Acknowledgement of Receipt form to acknowledge that they have received the project information. Each affected neighbor must sign separate acknowledgement forms, and you will be prompted to upload them later in this application. Select the Yes button if all signatures were received, or the No button if you were unable to obtain all signatures. If you select No, you must upload proof of delivery for each affected owner. In this case, please note that no permit will be issued until at least 60 days after the application is submitted. Click the link to the help guide for more information on impacts on adjacent property. Click Next to proceed to the next page. Certain projects require other permits or approvals as a prerequisite, and these must be obtained before this permit can be issued. These are referred to as related permits. In some cases, you can submit the application without entering the related permit or approval number. However, this may delay or prevent the issuance of your permit. To reduce delays and avoid confusion, it is strongly recommended that you apply for all prerequisite approvals before submitting this permit application. In this example, we will link this permit to a zoning permit by entering the permit number in the space provided, then clicking the magnifying glass and selecting the permit from the pop-up window. For additional information on related permits, click the Help icon. Click the Next button to continue. Next, add a licensed contractor. To find your contractor, enter their name or license number and select them from the list. Searching by license number usually gives the most accurate results. If you don't know your contractor yet, you can continue with the application, but the permit cannot be issued until a contractor is identified. If someone other than the contractor is completing the application, the licensed contractor will need to verify the association before the permit can be issued. Once you add a contractor, they'll receive an email prompting them to log into their Eclipse account and confirm their association with this permit. The permit will not be issued until this verification is complete. If you can't find your contractor or need more help, select the Help icon for additional guidance. If you have subcontractors working under this permit, you'll need to list them here. Subcontractors who are operating under their own trade permits do not need to be included. Enter the subcontractor's name or license number and select them from the list. If you don't have that information yet, or if you need to make changes later, you can return to your permit in your Eclipse account and update it at any time. Click Next to continue. An electrical permit details page is included here because electrical was selected as an additional scope of work earlier in the application. Enter the estimated cost of the electrical work. If the electrical work falls within any of the listed occupancies, select the checkboxes that apply. Next, enter the equipment details. Review each option carefully and select only those that apply to the scope of work being performed under this permit. Additional details may be requested based on your selections. For additional information, refer to the Electrical Equipment Guide. Enter the licensed electrical contractor. If you don't know your contractor at this time, you can submit the application without completing this step and provide the contractor information later. Please note, the electrical permit will not be issued until a contractor has been identified. If your contractor cannot be found, you can use the contractor lookup tool on our website to verify that the company is approved for the work type. Visit phila.gov/li/contractor-lookup. Identify the electrical inspection agency that will perform the electrical inspections under this permit. You can search by company name or by license number, then select the agency from the list. To narrow the search results, it is best practice to use the license number. Refer to our Electrical Inspection Agency Guide for more information on third-party electrical inspection requirements and for a list of licensed agencies. Click Next to continue. A fire suppression system details page is included here because fire suppression system was selected as an additional scope of work earlier in the application. Enter the estimated cost of the fire suppression work, and enter the pipe sizes for the applicable fire suppression system. Add all equipment by selecting the plus icon in the table and choose the appropriate equipment from the drop-down menu. Be sure to enter quantities for each item you add. For additional information, refer to the fire suppression guides. Next, enter the fire suppression contractor. If you do not know your contractor at this time, you may submit your application without completing this step and provide the contractor information later. Please note, a fire suppression permit will not be issued until a contractor has been identified. If you cannot find your contractor, you can use the contractor lookup tool on our website to verify that the company is approved for this work type. Visit phila.gov/li/contractor-lookup. Click Next to continue. Here's where you will upload your documents. Check the left-hand column to see whether a document is required. Required documents are based on the proposed work and occupancy type selected earlier in your application. Some documents may include a sample form identified by a download icon. Click the icon to view and download these sample forms. If a required document is not uploaded, you will not be able to submit your application and will need to return to this page. Please note that optional documents may still be necessary depending on your project. For a complete list of permit application documents, visit phila.gov/li. Click the Upload Files button to open the file folder on your computer and choose the PDF files you want to upload. Please be sure to upload PDF files that are no larger than 75 megabytes. Once the documents are uploaded, select the document type from the drop-down menu. Items marked with a red asterisk are mandatory uploads. If you use the standard file naming convention for your electronic plans, also referred to as e-plans, all sheets within the file will automatically sort based on their name. Visit phila.gov/li for more information on the file naming convention. Error messages will appear at the bottom of the screen to alert you to any errors or incomplete sections that will prevent you from submitting your application. In our example, we attempted to upload a Word document. Since the system requires a PDF, we are prompted to upload the file again in the correct PDF format. Once the issues are corrected, click Next. On the Manage Permit Notifications page, you can adjust email notifications, add additional contacts, or invite co-applicants. The owner, applicant, and contractor associated with this permit will automatically receive email notifications. A valid email address is required to receive updates. Co-applicants have the same level of access to the application as the primary applicant. They can view the status, review and respond to comments, pay fees, submit amendments, and access all permit-related details, including plans and permit documents. To invite a co-applicant, select the Invite Co-applicant button and provide them with the association code. They can enter this code in their Eclipse account to associate with this permit. Please note that each code may only be used once. A permit contact may receive courtesy emails only for major permit milestones, such as when reviews are completed, when the permit is issued, or when inspections are completed. Permit contacts cannot view or edit the permit information, submit responses to comments, or pay fees. To add a permit contact, click the plus sign and complete the information in the pop-up window. To modify an existing contact, select the edit icon and make your changes. If you need to update contacts after the application has been submitted, you can do so from your permit dashboard. For additional information, select the help icons. You must complete all previous steps and correct any error messages before you can proceed to the legal declaration page. Read the text carefully, check the box to confirm, and then select Next. This will bring you to the Submit Application page. This page shows only the application fee. You will pay the remaining balance when the permit is approved. Select the Pay and Submit button to pay for and submit this application. You will then be transferred to the payment gateway. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete your payment. Electronic check, credit card, and debit card are all accepted forms of payment. Please note that surcharges may apply based on the payment type, and rates are subject to change. Once your payment is complete, click the Continue button to return to Eclipse. If you receive error messages or encounter challenges while paying for your application, review the Submit Application Guide. The permit confirmation screen shows when your application has been successfully submitted. But remember, you don't have your permit yet. Your application will now be reviewed by L&I staff. If any required information is missing or incomplete, you'll be notified in the Actions Required section of your Permits and Certificates dashboard. To view the permit details and status for this application, go to your Permit and Certificates dashboard and click on the applicable application. Your permit application activities will show the details of your application. Review the page and all tabs for information related to the application and available actions such as submitting additional information, withdrawing your application, or requesting inspections. Be sure to check back often as information may be updated while your application moves through the city's review process. Thanks for watching! For more information, refer to Eclipse how-to guides, Eclipse FAQs, and other useful Eclipse videos at phila.gov/li. And for any general information, you can contact 311.